folks, how are we today? My name is Andrew Toronto and this is Arcane Investments. I just wanted to make a video because I didn't make one for last Friday and it's now Thursday, and honestly I have work on Friday nights, and I work the weekend, so I have to figure out a day. Maybe it'll be Monday nights or maybe I don't know, Wednesdays. We'll have to figure out a different video day just because it's exhausting. So I find it difficult to, like, after the shift or whatever to then boom, make a video. So I guess I want to talk a little bit about this week. So far, I mean, it's still Thursday and it's Thursday 7 a.m. So we still have 2 full trading days left. So really anything can happen, but right now we're seeing a really good amount of growth. Over the past month, we've done really well. We've been up about 30% over the last month, which I'm very proud of. Over the last 3 months, obviously we're still seeing that consolidation period, but hopefully we can start swinging it. The year has been pretty drastically down on our performance over the year. And all time we're still up around 3,000 off of some really good decisions. So ultimately on the week, doing well so far, about 10%. Obviously ASXC had a really good, and we can't really look too much at that because there's a pre-market that just doesn't get talked about. There's a pre-market here, and you can sort of see how it's actually up pre-market today, so it's really just not correct. But regardless, it had starting to have a strong week, and I think what's important is that obviously we changed our portfolio basis, like I said the other week, where we have the 20% over 5 companies, and we've been able to maintain that pretty well. If you can see, right here, 15%. I wonder if I could actually see. It doesn't let me see. Okay. So I want to see if it lets me show the portfolio percentage. Maybe your equity? I guess we could see your equity. So just kind of about that, I think that's actually pretty clear. So you can see how we've sort of maintaining around 400. Gamble, we obviously sold off a little bit just because it had ran so high, about 20% on the week. So we wanted to sort of take some of those returns. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe they're a little bit up pre-market, so we might see some movement. Not really sure, but we did take a little bit. But there you can see kind of my equity here in each holding, and ASXC is a lot because it's not only just the share value, but it's also there's options here, and I'm down tremendously on my options. So if these things start printing, if we can start getting seeing tremendous growth, like this option most likely will expire worthless. This option has a good chance of making me some money, going up a little bit. I only have one of those. The one I have the most of are unfortunately these really out of the money option. I thought would be a good idea, not a great idea. I was a bad idea. I mean, all things in hindsight, it's just really, I figured, okay, a year should be enough time for it to get there, but, it's just difficult. I mean, in hindsight, I wish I didn't do it. You live and you learn. You live and you learn with these options here. 2.5 call and about 6 of these. So if we can get up to like $3, we make a little bit more money with ASXC. Baba, about 400, 407, 405. So we could probably look to sell some ASXC and buy some Gamble. Would be like the ideal. But ultimately, I don't really love going off just this. I mean, this is good, but we want to make sure money is spread out evenly. So that's what we try to do. And I've been doing this just by a percentage basis. So, it's really, like, if I see a total percent change, like, I end up selling. Like, I don't say, oh, it just hit 400, we got to sell. No, I say, like, oh, okay, I use percentages. So I'll say, okay, it's 16% now. That's a pretty decent amount of return so far. So, a lot of this value is also coming from return. So I want to, sell some. So that's typically my goal with that idea. Curious why they haven't updated the pre-market on that yet. This could run. This has some possibility. It seems to be flooring right now on the 3 month. The year, this one definitely has some good run possibilities here. So I'm definitely excited to see what Meta Available is going to do soon. Super low volume though, super low volume, basically barcoding. That's basically it, guys. I mean, there's nothing really to share in terms of what the companies are doing right now. We just know that they're still doing very well. They're all going up. If you guys want in-depth, or not maybe an in-depth, a little bit of a gloss over look on some of these companies, I did make some videos on them, and you can check those out, and they're on my channel. It's really nice. But so far this week, we're pleasantly we are happy with the current direction of the portfolio. Obviously, I mean, we're expecting to see higher percentages, and as we hit this 1 year chart, which is going to be December 30th, right? So still, actually, we'll do the January 3rd, I think was the first trading day. Yeah. So we're still down on the year. Not crazy. I think it's about $300. So that represents, we want to get above that number, right? This number here, this January 3rd number, that's the number we're going to compare our yearly growth to, because we can't really see it in that sense where it's just year over year, quarter by quarter. We just want to look at towards the fourth quarter or the third quarter of the year, the end of the third quarter of the year, 2022, and see how that compares to the end of the year, full year 2021. So that's my goal. So it needs to be, that number is going to keep going up as we put more money in too. So you have to remember that as well. So as I put more money in, that number will continue to grow with the size of the portfolio. So it's just making smart buys and continuing to do so, I think, is really what's important. I think that's really what's most important, is the idea that, we continue to grow in our fashion. I mean, we are aiming for 60% growth this year. And we're positioned to do so. We're positioned in companies that do give us that ability to do so. We don't have many options. I do want to think maybe I buy an option here, right? Trade options. If we can get some of these to go down, a $2.5 call, it's $185, but it's at least a little bit safer. It's a safe bet option call, so we could do some in the monies. We could just buy in the money ones, because we have basically every single month we have $400 to play with. That's like our monthly budget. So whether or not I want to use option buying, wherever the case may be, I would say share buying is probably best until we can see better margins. Because I bet, we didn't look at it, but I bet if I look at these margins, the buy-sell is ridiculous. Yeah, it's 155, 215, 110, 135. I mean, that at least is closer, but yeah, I mean, that still feels kind of rough. I mean, this one at least you could get into, like this one has at least a margin that you can get into. So it has to have it has to be a good price, a margin I enjoy, stuff like that for me to buy that option. But we'll have to see. 2024 here, we could see Obviously, we want these really, really, really nice ones. These are up huge. I don't know who bought, but like, look at that. You know, it's just ridiculous. You know, these spreads. It's just I asked for. It's up 29,000%. Like, what are these spreads? You know, it's kind of ridiculous. And then you'll have these calls. 25 cents bid, 5,000 ask. Just an incredible amount of volatility in these options. $100 for this. It's just really difficult. They're not really being able to find the right pricing. Maybe a little bit less volatility here in the 1 year. I mean, still, these spreads are just so wide. 165, 185. This is, yeah. But that's what's going to happen when you have like these type of companies that are somewhat volatile. So I think for now, shares aren't going to be a bad route, and we already have options with ASXC that we need to see grow. But you know, the gamble option looks like a good one. That looks like not a bad one, so we could go for that maybe. The medieval option, we actually haven't checked these out. They don't really have. Yeah, I think I remember they don't really have a lot of options available. BABA is obviously a really good place to trade options, so maybe get a BABA option too. Something like one of these, 3,000. Wow, these are expensive. So BABA's options, although we would love to do this. This would be the most expensive of the option, but it'd be the easiest to get into. It'd be really easy to get into a BABA option. And you could see some pretty solid growth, 9% on 3% days. So just make more money faster. And they go all the way out to 2024. So it'd be a lot of money to buy a BABA option, but it'd be worth it to a certain degree just because of how much money you have the potential to make with these ideas. These are really safe calls here. 9,000. That's a pretty fair deal right there. And then this, you buy one of these crazy options, for 460. You buy, if you put them on, like, let's say a $200, you could buy these for 600, 500. You could buy these just $100. $100 if you're super right and the freaking price explodes over the next year and a half. Then yeah, you could see some really good growth. But what's funny is, like, despite that, you could still probably swing it. These have gone up 16-17%. So I don't want to sit here and just talk options with you guys, so that's not what we're here to do. At the end of the day, I'm just want to show you guys that we're happy with the direction of the portfolio right now. I think maybe we'll look into buying options if we can find good spreads. I think the gamble option is probably the best bet, and that was for 2024, I believe. This was probably the best bet, the $5 gamble option for 2024. Chances are it'll probably hit $5 by 2024. It's 2 years from now. So, it's a pretty good bet. I actually really do like that idea. So if that can stick and stay, then we'll do it by the time we're ready to buy. But I'm not rushing into any options. I've learned my lessons from that. We're just going to keep our positions as they are for now, and I'll update you guys on the Discord if I do decide to do that. But with that being said, guys, that's really it. That's really the update. Just a good week so far. Up about $200 and up about $530 on the month. So we're getting back in action. Hopefully looking to recover some of our money here, which is important. But it's good to be back and good to be buying again and putting in more money and feeling more stable with our investments, and hoping for a reversal and an improvement in our portfolio or for the 3-month chart, which is really where we want to start hitting, because we're doing well in the week, the 1 day, and the 1 month. So hopefully we can start transitioning that into a 3-month win and start getting closer to our 60% goal. With that being said, guys, we are, we're getting there little by little. It's February. We still got 11 or 10 and a half months left to go. So, 10.5 months. Think we can do this, guys. Think we can do this. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week, hopefully, unless I make another video or something along those lines. But, please follow the Discord if you want to speak to me directly, or if you want just to speak to other people who buy and sell and whatnot. So the companies that we buy and sell here. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.